Okay, so these are VFA tests printed on my Core 1. We've got 3 tests. It was discussed on the forum that adjusting the position of the gear on the motor might help reduce VFAs. Someone spotted the belt was rubbing against one of the flanges on the side. So I printed 3 different ones. One was stock, one was adjusting only the Y-axis gear, and one with both axis gears. The filaments were printed just using the stock profile on the VFA test. It's pre-sliced. The filament was Eryone dual silk, purple and black. So with the stock profile, let's see if we can get this thing to focus. There we go. So with the stock profile, you can see there is a little bit of artifacts just down the bottom here. As they're printing, if I get a pencil to point them out, you can just see there's little ridges going across there. And as the speed increases, it does mat up a little bit, but you can still see there's the vertical lines. Orientation when it's printed, that's the Z-axis. They do go away as the speed increases, so that's probably a factor of the flow, the print speed increasing and the filament not heating up quite as quick. So you can see down here it's incredibly shiny and then it just mats up down here, so that will be masking some of the effects. All the axes have it to a degree. 45 certainly looks a little bit worse than at 0. 60 degrees is pretty bad. It's interesting, you can actually see the black and purple has a different point where it changes over to starting to go matte. 60's definitely got some form of that ripple going on, the VFAs. 30 looks like a totally different printer. It's even worse, and you can see, because these are all constant speeds on a given layer height, so this curve here is at the same speed as the flat sections. But you can see just in the corner there, it looks poorly rendered, frankly. 60 is actually better in there, but that 30-degree axis just don't know what it is there. And 90 again, we're kind of bad, kind of worse than the 0, I think. With just the Y-axis changed, there's not really any change. I did try playing with the temperatures here. You can see that the matte comes in a little bit, and then I've increased the temperature, and then I've increased it again, and then as we get up to the top, I've ramped it up again here just to try and exacerbate. It does look better. Like if you compare roughly how shiny that is to maybe here, you can see the VFAs are worse here, but then as the speed increases, you're obviously getting less VFAs, which is kind of the expected behavior, I think, for VFAs. 90, yeah, they're definitely there, but it's like they're getting smeared out. 30, which is the worst. You can see it's in there. It looks like some sort of Doppler ultrasound subsea or something like that. You can see it, and if we compare that to stock, let's just focus on the shinier bits. They look pretty much identical. You've even got on the third band here, if you look at roughly the same position, you can see that there's the change in the way it looks, and that matches up pretty nicely. It does look like there's worse VFAs up the top, but I think that's mostly because the temperature's higher, so it is shinier, so it's showing it. So adjusting only the Y-axis shows no change, and then if we bring in the one where both axes had the drop the test, when both axes had their bits changed, Let's find 30. So we'll just look at the 30 again and look at the down the bottom for the high temperature stuff, and no difference to my eyes. So yeah, there is some VFAs. The trouble is, it's not really a problem because most of the filaments I print are looking like this, where they're nice and matte, so I don't really see them. But if you're to do stuff in the shiny silk filaments, you might not want to have this happening, and you certainly wouldn't want to be printing that slow. But as you increase the speed, you know, and your temperature, you might be in this sort of point here, and that's quite pronounced. But to get rid of them, or to at least get them look okay, you're up in this territory, so you'd either need to ramp the temperature up quite a bit, which would work, or you would be well, yeah, either print slow and get bad VFAs and shiny, or print quick and potentially have to ramp up the temperature quite a bit, which might cause you issues with your filament. But yeah, it's a good test. It's completely artificial though, you know, it's just to exacerbate the issues. You can kind of see there, 60 to 30, definitely looks a bit worse on the 30 side. 90 to 30, 90 to 0, and that is the y-axis. Oof, crack. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but I would say to get it to look better, you're possibly going to have to look at faster speeds at the top, and higher temperatures. If you're using silk filaments, would be the way to go. So speed profile, and basically ramp it up to PETG sort of territory when you're printing with silk PLA.